so I'm trying to come up with some ways to make on research for students online a little bit easier. So one of the things that you do is you collect a lot of sources, and a lot of them are online, some of them are in databases. So I thought, well, what if I just wanted to do some kind of fun, diverting research project right now? What would I do? And I thought, well, I like to cook, and it's kind of interesting how many recipes you can get from around the world now, and they're everywhere. And so I thought, would it be interesting to compare like the two standard American, cooking magazines, let's say Bon Appetit and Gourmet, or you could pick something else as well, I suppose, Family Circle, or not Family Circle, but some of those kind of magazines, and just see like what's the difference between then and like say 30 years ago and now. Like, are there more recipes that reflect our international population? So one of the things that you could have students do is use Padlet, and so they could come up with some categories that are to be decided, because you really don't know as you're collecting your information exactly what your categories are going to be. So one of the things that's nice about this is that when you add some your information, you can take notes and you can add links. So I said I'm going to start with my two basic categories, because that's what I know that I'm going to be looking at. Let's say I look at the 1990s recipes, and then I'm going to get the 2010s recipes, or 2019, something like that. Okay, and that when I do that, each one I get to, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Each time I have one, let's say I want to edit it. I can go in, and I actually can edit my notes. So I could put a lot more notes than I put here. Like, I just started saying, okay, let me just look at what the main seasonings are and flavorings that I'm seeing in my first three results. So I did that. But I could conceivably take a lot more notes than just that. On each one. And so then once I've gotten all of these sources, and I can keep tons and tons of them, then I could start sorting them. So I actually can move them from over here. Let's say I come up with a category, and I say, okay, so I'm looking at let's say I might sort it by appetizers, or main dishes or something else, or I'm sure there's a much more interesting way to do that. But once I start to realize, like, okay, now I see what all these different things that I have, I could see that I might be able to create these categories and move all of the things that I've been collecting as I've been looking at, keeping the links from the site so that it's easy for me to make my works cited page, taking my notes, maybe even copying and pasting some of the quotes that I want to use at the top into this note area. Now I could start looking at how do I actually want to arrange this into categories and start to sort and organize my research. So that's just one thought. There are other things. I know Trello is also something where you can kind of organize. I found this a little bit easier to use for this particular purpose, because in Trello, once you create something, you can't delete it. You have to archive it first. So this is really easy, and you can add very easily between things and then move them around. So just a thought. Think about it, helping kids get organized with research online. Okay, that's it. Have a great day.